Well everyone, welcome to part 2 of this series of me grading my cards with tag for the first time. As you can see, we got the package here because I did do the welcome kit, or I did do the sending kit that they have on there, which does cost, I believe, $49.95, and you can only purchase it if you are submitting through tags. You can't like pick this up just for fun or pick it up just to kind of send it to somebody else. But just so you know, they do take care of everything that you would need. But let's open this up, see what the experience is like, pack these all up, and eventually send them off to tag to wait 30 to 45 days to get all these buttes graded. Let's get into it. So as we open this up, I do highly recommend go watch the first part of this series because I'm going through step by step on how to actually submit through tag specifically, especially as somebody who would consider themselves a novice in this kind of field, right? I've been kind of a casual collector. I've never graded anything before my entire life. So I was curious to see what this was like, and I do have a couple tag slabs that I did pick up on eBay just to kind of see what the slabs were like, because obviously in the pictures they look amazing, but I wanted to see what they were like in person. And I know some people say that doesn't, maybe they break if you bend too hard, but I'm not sitting here trying to break this thing or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just like what it looks like. I'm not doing this for value. I'm doing this for the experience and just to kind of have them in cool slabs to add to my collection. But let's continue to open this up and see what it's like, because again, I haven't seen anybody really walk through this process ever online, down to have this specific of a situation. So let's get this open. So here we have the actual tag case, and if we open this up, again, you see that it's very well packaged, and again, this is supposed to be very secure because technically there's a good amount of valuables in here. If you do get the kit itself, it does come with, I believe, $1,000 of insurance built into it. So you don't have to get the insurance for the individual cards, which is something that some people do. But again, this is all Velcroed nicely to make sure that nobody opens this up. And you have the little pocket there for your return label, which again, they do include for you as part of this kind of little situation. So if you do get a survival kit, you get everything that you would need to submit your cards very easily. And this actually showed up in only 2 days. I was just out of town. That's why it took a little longer to make this video. So you have a nice little zipper as well. We're opening this up. And inside you have another tag box. And let's see what's in here, because inside of here, you just have a normal box. As you can see right here, it is lightly padded and also hard shell on the outside to really protect everything that you're sending over. And then this is what the tag box looks like. I just like the branding. I don't know. Again, I'm not affiliated with tag whatsoever. They have no idea that I'm making this. I kind of fell in love with the slabs, the process, and obviously I'm a big first adopter or early adopter in terms of technology like this, because they do use AI to really hone in on what the grading process is like. I'm not gonna say there's no room for human error, because there always is to an extent, but there's far less room for human error, and you're not relying on whether or not somebody had a good or bad day that day, or if their eyesight is going bad or something like that. But this is what it looks like. So if you open this up, on the top here you have pretty much all the instructions you're gonna need. So it says locate the folded packing list and organize the cards in the same numerical order, which again, if you watch the first video, we already listed all 20 cards that we're gonna get graded. These are most of them. I'm still waiting on 2 more to come in the mail, so we're actually just gonna go through this process together to see what it's like, but I'm gonna hold off another day or 2 before sending it out. Then it also says, insert each card into the provided easy pull sleeves and then into a tag shield, which should be all included here. Place the shield cards into the deck box. First the cards go in the front, last card in the back. Place the kit back into the tag safe case, set aside the cable, which is a serial number tag. I'm not gonna show the serial number just in case that means something. I don't really know if it does, but again, very sturdy for you to be able to seal that up. So here, we have the graded card sleeves, which are gonna be little sleeve packs in here, so it's gonna look really nice. And then in here, it does give you the packing list for deck 1 box. So it shows, oh, this is cool. So it shows you all the different cards that you did have set up for submission, little check boxes, the order that it comes in, which again, I like this because it seems a little bit more personalized. This is exactly what you put down, which is what I put down. We'll be able to check these off one by one as we put them in here. And then in the box itself, you have more padding, which they do recommend you use, which I'll use in there. And then again, if you have a larger submission or smaller submission, they add additional padding that you can actually rip off and kind of customize to whatever you see fit to make sure they are nice and securely put in there. And that's everything that you have in the box in order to ship out. So then once you're done, you secure the cable tie and then go through that process. But let's start to put this together one by one and see what it's like. Well, right here in front of me, like I said, I have my checklist right here, as well as all the cards that I'm grading. There's still, I think, 3 missing that I've ordered online that are still coming, which we'll get to in a little bit. Now again, some of these cards I know won't be 10s, like for example, I know that this Mew and Mewtwo, these promo cards, I know that they're a little top heavy in terms of the outline and the borders and things like that, so I know they're not all going to be a 10. This is mostly for my personal collection, but I do want to see what some of these get. Like for instance, I think these are candidates for 10s, and these are all cards that for the most part, aside from the Celebrations ones, but all the 151s I either pulled myself or got through a promo, of course through the UPC here. And I remember pulling this Charizard when I got it, and I was like, no way. So this one is kind of my pride and joy. Even this one, I think, is still a little heavy on the bottom, but still a decent candidate for being able to get a 10 through tag. And then we'll see exactly what it all ends up being. Like this one right here, I also pulled this Mew EX, this Ultra Rare, which I think looks beautiful. But let's kind of pack these up and see what that process is like. So let's open up these. And I wonder if they give you exactly 20, or if they give you a few extra ones, or what this looks like. So again, everything seems to be very well packed together, which I like because, again, you're spending a lot of money to go get these graded, and also, again, they're just something that you want to make sure that stays very protected. So we're going to put all these together. Let's do the first one on camera, which first one will be the Mewtwo one. So these are the little pull tabs. They're basically just penny sleeves with little pull tabs to make it easier for people to actually grab them out of the box and then put them in whatever systems they're putting them in. So we'll grab one of these, grab the first one, which is going to be the Mewtwo. And you guys let me know in the comment down below what you think, if this one has a chance of being, again, something like a 10. You can see that maybe the top of it is a little heavy. The back of it, yeah, the top is definitely a little heavy, so I don't know. It's got a little ding here, but let's see. Anything above an 8 for any of these cards for me is a success. Slide that in there. Now it's in there, and let's open this guy up. Ooh, and these are pretty nice and heavy duty, so you can definitely tell that they're going to be protected in here. We open this up right here, and then boom. It's done, it's placed in there, and it's ready to go. So we're going to do that for the rest of these and go from there. So as I put this last one in the sleeve, which is going to be hopefully the best one, this Charizard EX from 151, which is going to be the chase that everybody wants out of 151. It's crazy to think that I got this card when, you know, things were still selling at market price and things like that about a year and a half ago. And now this thing, like ungraded or raw, I think is like over $200. And I think at one point it peaked at $300. So let's see exactly what this ends up getting. I just do hope it's at least a 9, but I do think this has the potential to be a 10. You know, let me know down below what you guys think. Everything seems pretty even, pretty down the middle. But this is the last one on here, and then we check it off. And like I said, I'm still missing a couple. I'm still missing my Lycanroc that I did buy, as well as a Houndour, and then a Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames. So once those do come in, I'll finalize everything, but we're going to package everything up to see what it looks like, so I can show you guys what that process is like. So again, here it says carefully pack and then check off your cards in the order of numerical checklist below. Please include the completed packing list, which is this one right here, once it's all checked off. And if you receive any extra supplies, feel free to use them for your personal collection. So nothing extra as of right now, but these are all the cards that we're sending in. Again, there's 3 missing, but I'm excited to really kind of send these in and see what they get. So we put them in here, and then add a couple spacers to make sure that they're not moving around or anything. Place the top spacer on here to really kind of hone in to make sure that nothing moves around. Let me close it up, and that thing's not going anywhere. So we have the packing list, we have this. And I'm not 100% sure if you put it back in here, but I think you can. I'm just going to place it right in here to, again, really secure it in there. We fold it up. Make sure that this kit does go inside the sealed actual Velcro. So we're going to put it like this. Put this back in here. You close it up. And then use a zip tie to really close off the zipper section, of course. And then you actually Velcro it over. I do want to find out real quick where the packing slip is, if they actually send it to you or if you have to print it out yourself. If you have to print it out yourself, that'd be kind of annoying because I don't have a printer, but that's something to take into consideration from a customer experience standpoint. But let's find out exactly if we need to print that out. So what's nice is that you actually don't have to print it out. The actual shipping box, so like I said, there was a bag on the inside, so there was like double package. That's because this one is the one that actually goes back. So again, you're not sending it with this as the open face section, because again, that would probably be a big red flag to anybody, or a green flag depending on somebody wanting to steal it. But this is already a paid shipping label. You just put this back in here and then send it off to FedEx and then wait a little bit. So we're gonna, again, wait for those other 3 cards to arrive, finish this off, and that is the experience. So let me know what you guys think overall of this tag submission kit. It was actually relatively easy. It took me about 10 minutes to put everything in the penny sleeves and then also into the actual cases themselves and finalize everything in here. And I'm just excited to see what we get. I'll be honest, I'm not super optimistic to getting a bunch of 10s. Maybe 3 or 4 of them I'll be happy. And again, anything above an 8 on these cards would be amazing. But again, this is not for value. This is more for aesthetic, for my personal collection. And I already have a few other cards that I want to get graded that I picked up the other day, like these right here. So definitely stay tuned. And we got a bunch of Journey Together stuff from Pokemon that we definitely have to unbox. So if you guys like this kind of Pokemon card content, let me know in the comment down below, and we'll kind of keep going with this stuff because I absolutely love it. But don't worry, we'll still also have normal reviews moving forward. But that'll do it for this video. If you did make it to the end, leave a dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end. And if you guys want to watch more videos like this one, definitely check out part 2 of this series. And ultimately, part 3 will be about a month down the line because, again, this takes about 30 to 45 days to really come into fruition. But that'll do it, everybody. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace. I'm going to be excited to kind of track this on the dashboard. We'll see how that goes.